That's 100 years of glass right there. It was really dirty. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be so thrilled. This is I'm gonna be able to see out of this scope now. This is gonna be fabulous. Wow, I figured out how to take it off. That's 100-year-old glass right there. Cleaned. I cleaned it. This is gonna be great. Okay guys, I am removing the rear piece of glass to expose the secondary piece of glass, which is also filthy and has some rust in there. I'm pretty confident that once I get this thing cleaned, this scope is going to be fabulous again. Okay guys, I hope you can see that German post in there. It's kind of hard to get up on. That's what it looks like, and whatever's at the top of that post, that's your target. That's a 100-year-old glass there. Yeah, I'll give you guys a close-up for anybody who's into this kind of craftsmanship. This is what you're looking at. Just a beautiful piece of equipment. And it really is a fabulous rifle. Okay, there's that Lyman open sight on it. And it really is great, guys. If you ever get a chance to get your hands on an old World War II Mauser, I only have 2 left. I kicked myself for selling the ones I had. But by all means, pick it up, because these things are fabulous. And these old Weaver scopes, man, you see one of these, grab it. Because it doesn't matter if it's a regular crosshair or a German post hair or the El Paso Weaver. It doesn't matter. Get your hands on that scope, because these scopes are very underestimated. They really are awesome scopes, guys. So if you can get your hands on one, by all means, do it. Hey guys, Tim here again, and I watched too many movies, and every time I see a rifle on a movie, I gotta have that rifle. And 2 of my favorite Australian Western movies is Quigley Down Under, and I built, it's a rifle, kind of a poor man's version of the Quigley Down Under rifle, chambered in 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum. Has similar sights and that sort of thing, and I have that one at home. If you're going to shoot a rifle like that, you're shooting a very heavy slug, 300, 400, 500, sometimes even 700 grains of lead downrange. And there's an Iron Buffalo in Bend, Oregon that's 1,400 yards away, and I'm going to try for that one of these days. I'm going to get over there and do that. It might seem like a stretch, but I'll give you an idea of what it consists of. I shot an elk with a 45-70, which the ballistics are very similar, at 350 yards, and by the time we did the math, we figured that the arc at the end where he was at was about 40 inches. So 350 yards, it's not quite a quarter of the way there. So you can figure there's a lot of math into it, and a lot of fun as well. But the movie that I just watched is called High Ground. It takes place in Australia right after World War I. And the main character had a rifle. It was a German World War I sniper rifle with a German post hair scope. And it shot a 7.91, I want to say. I hope that's correct. Anyhow, I couldn't find that rifle, but as I'm watching that movie, I remembered I have parts that I could build something similar. And I've always wanted a rifle like that. So this is a 7.65 Argentine Mauser, 1891. It's actually older than the rifle that was in that movie, in the movie High Ground. And this is a German post hair scope, and it's made by Weaver, and not to be confused with modern Weaver scopes. This is a 1930s era German post hair Weaver. The modern Weaver, it was just like when somebody bought the rights to the movie Predator. The first one was great, then they train wrecked the second one. That's kind of give you an idea of what happened with Weaver. I don't even think it's the same company, just it must be a similar name. Okay, so what I did is I bought this mount from S&K. It's a company in Pennsylvania that makes a mount that works off the existing sight aperture. The Picatinny rail, and it's extra high, and this will allow me to clear the bolt. And I know this looks kind of squirrely because you don't have any support in here. I don't know if it's going to work. I just didn't want to pay. I'll admit I'm being cheap. I didn't want to pay several $100s to have the bolt bent and to have the thing mounted. Besides that, I like options. I want to pull this sight off. If I want to put a Cooper Scout system on there, I can do it. If I want to put a red dot on there, I can do it. If I want to pull everything off, I've got the existing Lyman peep sight on the back, and I can shoot open sights without having to yank everything off and go through all this this rigmarole. And what was really beautiful about this is this scope is nearly 100 years old. It was foggy, it was hard to see through. I ended up figuring out how to get these lenses off. They're thick lenses. I cleaned them up, and this looks like a brand new scope. The glass is amazing, and I'll give you a close-up view of that here in a minute. And two, so because it's so high in elevation now, because I had to go above to clear the bolt, I had to raise the stock as well. So this is from Voodoo Tactical, and what this does is it raises the cheek rest and allows me to be able to get right up there on that scope. All right, so I guess all that's left is to see if it actually works. Also, it rains very consistently this time of the year in Northwest Oregon, the whole Pacific Northwest. It won't stop raining now till June maybe, and so I've coated this. It's an epoxy finish that will waterproof it and give it the protection that it wasn't manufactured to have in that time period. Redid the stock, puts a linseed oil finish on the stock to help waterproof it as well. It's already been sporterized, so there's nothing you can do to take the value out of the weapon. Of course, there was going to be rust. You know, it's 100 years old, so it helps to overlay the pitting anyway. And then I went inside and cleaned up a bunch of the rust as well. All right, let's see if this thing groups. Well, we still got a little reprieve from the rain. Wow. Wow. All right. The setup likes each other, guys. It's working great. That's pretty impressive. I'll show you guys the grouping here in a second. Yeah, my dream is realized, guys. I have always wanted a World War I era or before safari rifle with the German post hair, and I built it. This is the most fulfilling part about being into guns and ballistics. If you go there, is when you can fudge stuff like this, and that's really part of off-grid research. And that's what we do is you work with things that you have to build with what you got. A lot of these rounds, not this particular one, but some of them say 30-06 or 270 on the back, because the guy who reloads these for me and makes these rounds cuts them out of 30-06 parent cartridges. It's actually close to, I believe, a 31 caliber. It's kind of a weird oddball, and but it shoots great, man. You know, basically this is 130 years to 90 years, some of the equipment with modern things hodgepodge together, and it's working great. I'm sitting here grouping like this at 100 yards right now, and I'm going to push this thing further. I'm going to push it out to 150 right now, because it's really all I can go here, and see if I can hit the steel. It's just really rare these days. Try to find 7.65 by 53 Argentine on the shelf. Yeah, it's not going to happen very easily. Too bad, because it's a great cartridge. I like it more than the 308. New setup. just passed the ultimate test. There's a steel target down at the end of this road. I want to say, no, we've ranged it at 175 yards before. So I just hit it freehand, no bench, just standing here. This is what I'm talking about, guys. I've kind of worked my way down, and now here's 2 shots. I'm a little low, so I'll raise it up a bit, and I should be punching tape. That's at 100 yards with a system that I'm just playing with, and it works that well already. And just a 4-power scope, which is the only reason these shots are that far apart, I believe. But I know I can do better than that. Apparently that's all the support it needs. I mean, it's well supported here and here, and I mean, there's no give. It's pretty firm. So it works. It works. I've got no complaints. I couldn't sleep Friday night, so I got up about 3 in the morning and was flipping through Hulu and saw this really cool looking Australian movie about some of the history and the problems that they had there, called High Ground. There's a story about an Australian sniper from World War I who somehow got his hands on a German sniping rifle from that era. And I just thought, man, as I'm watching him look through that scope and it had that German post hair, I was like, oh man, that's cool. I gotta have that gun. As I'm watching it, I'm thinking, you know what, I've got parts laying around my house, and I can put this thing together. I can make this work. And sure enough, I mean, it looks kind of jerry-rigged, but in the proper form of off-grid research, I hodgepodged it together, and it's more than hodgepodge because it's working fabulous now. I'm shooting 1/4-inch groups at 100 yards with it. This system likes each other, and it's fairly close in era. I mean, you're talking 1891, 1930s equipment here with a few upgrades, modern upgrades, but that's really about it. And beautiful rifle. Craftsmanship is wonderful from things of that era. So anyhow, I'm gonna quit talking about it. I just wanted to share with you guys about the movie. The movie was great. Go check out the quality. Feel the bolt, a Walmart type of bolt action rifle. Feel that action, and then feel the action behind one of these old Mausers, and it might inspire you to rebuild one. And they're kind of spendy now, that more so than they were before. A lot of people think, oh, you know, it's expendable, and that's what's great about these old Mausers that have already been sporterized. Is okay, they're expendable, fine. So I put a bayonet, I put a lug on here for a bipod. You know, I've got all these cool setup for, you know, extras for this rifle. I love this thing, and the quality is there. Man, it's got a spring-loaded bolt. You know, just absolutely fabulous. And I just saw a German K98 8mm for sale for $300, and a Spanish Mauser, I believe in 7mm. Saw that for sale for $250. And I may just pick them up. These old Mausers are absolutely fabulous, and so are like the old 7.62 by 54 Russians, the Mosin Nagants, the British Ley-Enfields. I have a 6.5 Swedish Mauser. So I would encourage anybody to get into the Mausers, you know, because everything on here, for example, has been modified. That's not an original front sight, you know. So anyhow, yeah, it's easy to get into and impossible to get out of once you've gotten started. Little side story, guys. I bought some drink from this weird kind of health food place, and it's got some funky powder in it, and probiotic water. So somehow I guess I'm supposed to mix the powder here with the drink. 2 billion cultures of something in here. Undiluted truth in digestive health. Alright, well, we'll see what this is about. There's no instructions here on it. I just wanted a water to drink. All right. Oh, I'll give anything a try once. This is really funky. Oh, here we go. Okay, so you push the button and it punches a hole here. There's your powder, and then you dump your powder into the probiotic water, apparently. Like that. Just like that, apparently. Wow, that's funky. Like I said, I'll try anything once. I don't care. 2 billion cultures of undiluted truth. Okay. Huh. Gluten-free, lactose-free, vegan, non-GMO water. It's not bad. It's not bad. 79 cents, what do you want? I'll try it again. That's not bad.